Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are actually not in PSO2, playing a bit of BDO. I was actually streaming some BDO today, and I was talking with my chat, and we got into the conversation of, things I wish I knew when I first started BDO. And I thought I would share that with you guys today from the perspective of an actual new player or a newer player. I've played BDO off and on a few times in the past, way back when, before PA even took over the game. And I never really stuck with it. I've started it over an account like twice now. And because my wife Skulls really is enjoying playing, I thought I would, jump back in and really push hard into understanding the game. And honestly, I fell in love with it. It's a lot of fun. The game I'm definitely going to be playing on my off time as much as I can, and something I'll come back to over and over again. I do want to make content for the game as well. And anyone who knows about content creation knows about taxes. And your boy might have spent a bit of money in the game, so let's get a video done. Anyway, things I wish I knew about BDO when I first started playing. The first one that's kind of big to me that might not be that important to most people is the main story quest. So to know about the main story quest is to understand that it gives really great rewards. You definitely want to go through your main story quest in its entirety. However, I'm someone who likes to do completion stuff whenever they're dealing with their main character. I like getting everything done on one character as much as I possibly can, right? Of course, you have alts, you have other classes and things like that, but the main character, the one I focus on the most, the one I put the most into, I want everything done on that character. And one thing that was recommended at the time was that, hey, if you're going to start another character, do the other storylines. And it made sense to me at the time because I was thinking, oh, okay, well, they're family rewards. They're only one-time rewards. But my problem with that is that now I've got quests and storylines. Like, if I pull this up, I have quests that are still sitting, like Mountain of the Eternal Winter, Land of the Morning Light, which I've already done on other characters, and these are sitting on my main character now. Now, if I want them out of my quest log, yeah, I can get rid of them by just, dropping the quest off, but I like having everything completed as much as possibly can, right? So that's always going to be looming over my shoulder, and then redoing them isn't giving me anything more because they're one-time rewards. Sucks. So if you're starting the game out, if you're like me, do your main story quest line on your main character, start a second character. At any point in time, just do the Land of the do whatever quest you want to, realistically speaking, but I personally recommend just doing Ancient Stone Chamber again, and then just doing the sped up version of it, because you can just grind. And honestly, the serotonin from grinding on seasonal is pretty awesome when you kill like 2 mobs and go and jump up like 5 levels. I think it's a great time personally. All right, moving on from there. The second thing I wish I really knew about when first starting out was actually the rewards from seasonal. Well, it's 2 things when it comes to seasonal. The first one is don't race off of seasonal. I know it seems really cool to get your gear going and jump out of seasonal and graduate and all that stuff, but honestly, if you're new to the game, I would recommend staying on seasonal a lot longer than you see most other players staying on seasonal. Those players, most of the time, have played through the game, they know what they're doing, and they have characters they're getting back to. I personally wish I stayed on seasonal much longer, just for building up time-filled Blackstones, as well as most of the things that I currently do in game right now, I could have done on seasonal, and I would have had access to the seasonal servers. I can go to the regular servers as a seasonal character. So it's not like I had to, be on seasonal servers. It just gives me access to more servers that may not be as crowded at the time, which is really nice, especially if you're a new player. You have access to the seasonal Olvia servers, or whatever they're called. Actually, let me see. Yeah, the 1 through 3 novice servers. As you can see, like, these 2 season servers are crowded. These ones are not. You have access to these. You probably aren't going to run into as many people here. So if you're just trying to grind and not be bothered and things like that, it's going to be much easier for you to be able to access these. So definitely recommend staying on seasonal that, and you have access to the time-filled Blackstones, which you can then, oh wow, my name just popped up my face. You can then trade these in for things like Advice of Valks. You're able to get a Valk's Cry, but the big one is the item collection increase scroll. If you're not paying for the game, like you're not, swiping it all in game, then you're going to want to have a healthy, resource of item collection scrolls coming in. You can burn through them fairly quickly. So being able to get these, you get them only on season servers, being able to get these and then trade them in is really comfy. So definitely something I recommend staying on season server for, because I can show you right now, like, as far as gear goes, this is what I'm rocking at the moment. Got my, Tech Crescent ring. Still have 2 Vala earrings in because I don't have anything else. I have my Kaposha ring. I have my Kaposha necklace. I have a Kaposha belt. I have, both of these are pen. I think these are like Kafris level 1 and 2 or something like that. That was just to reach a DP bracket. And I was able to, I did the guaranteed pen Kudum with Tratina. Yes, you could leave this at Tet, but I mean, I just finished it off. It was fine, not a big deal. I bought 1 Black Star, and then my second one I got from, the rewards are giving out now since you can hit level 61 and get a free Black Star. So that's super cool. Got my Black Stars. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. But all this gear doesn't have me doing anything different than I would have done on Seasons. On Seasons, I still would be farming the same thing. Still be farming my poppies, still be doing my weeklies, still be taking care of unlocking stuff and finishing the other stories, which is what I'm still working on. So that's all to say, don't rush off Seasons. Unless you want to tag a character, maybe you don't like the character that you currently made and maybe you want to make a different character. You do have the opportunity to delete that character and then create a new character, but I personally would just finish and graduate the character and then go ahead and make another seasonal character. You have, I believe, 2 slots at the very beginning, so should be pretty cool. And then if you don't have 2, I'm pretty sure you have 2 at the beginning. So don't quote me. I'm not a big fan of spreading misinformation. I apologize if it is, but I'm pretty sure you have 2 slots at the beginning. I'm pretty sure I had 2 slots at the beginning. But I digress. Either way, it's something that I highly recommend. Just pump the brakes, relax, make some money, get your infinite pots, and get your even if you're just making silver and you've got let's say 30 billion silver that you've just made money on, that's fine. When you graduate, you can spend that on getting your gear. So don't rush. The second one is the season rewards. Now, if you are someone who did graduate your character and you're on second season character, let's say, you made the new scholar class, right, for the season. That way you could level them. One thing to know about season characters is the rewards are family bound, not character bound. So a lot of the rewards you can actually just put into your storage and give to your main character. What a lot of people do is they play through seasons and they throw rewards to their main or one of the other characters. And if you're someone who's newer, like myself, you don't have maxed out weight, you don't have maxed out inventory just yet, throwing those rewards over is actually pretty nice. And if you're just using it for a season character, they don't need a whole lot. Season characters are perfectly fine with what most of them have. And in a lot of cases, you end up tagging them anyway if you want to play them once they're finished with their season. So something to keep in mind. All right, now this next one, I'm gonna be real with you. I watch a lot of creators in the BDO community. Watch them. Blue's the only one that's coming to mind right now because I just finished watching streams of one of the videos he was playing, but a lot of different creators in the community itself. Watch a ton of different videos. John Law, Blue Squadron, by Septimus, Choice. Watch some canon videos. I mean, just all over the place. Just tons of different creators. Evil Doers Harm, all those guys. And the one piece of advice I have never heard from a single one of them is the one thing you probably need to do the most as a new player. Read your tooltips. I know it seems silly. You should read, of course, but there are a lot of freaking items in BDO. And most of them tell you what they do in the tooltips. So read your tooltips. I know it's silly. It's like, duh, but you'd be surprised how many people don't just mouse over stuff and realize how these things work. And I did it too. I had no idea that there was so much information in the tooltips. If you guys are curious, I mean, there are things that I did, I will admit to right now, that I'm not happy about. Let's see, let's get a good idea. I sold my very first Gihren's fragment because I did not know what it was for. Didn't know. I just saw that it was worth half a bill and I was like, yo, money, let's go. I sold it. So read your tooltips. They will save you tons of time. They will get you amazing rewards. You'd be surprised what you can combine some things into. And I guess it's kind of like an extra step to it, check the market. If you're ever thinking about selling something, check the market, look at how much it's worth. Yeah, how much it's worth is important, but also look how many of them are sitting on the market. If there's a ton sitting, you're probably safe with selling it because you'll probably be able to buy it back if you absolutely need it. But if there's nothing but orders up for something, it's probably useful for something else. So I would highly recommend holding off until you understand what that item actually is. Because if you sell it, you have to wait and, it's an order for one and there's, 1,000 orders, you're gonna be waiting a week, maybe 2 if you don't get lucky. So If you plan on doing something like selling something, at least check and see what the orders are looking like. And I would highly advise against selling something that has a ton of orders and nothing listed on the market. Okay. My next thing that I wish I kind of knew when I was trying to learn this game itself is don't follow combos. I know that's going to sound insane. Everyone learns differently. But what I found for most people when I've talked to them after trying to understand the game itself, either myself, my wife Skulls, or any of our friends that started playing the game, is trying to just copy a combo doesn't really always work because you don't know how the animations end. You don't know when the next ability begins. You don't know where the flows are, anything along those lines. And just seeing a combo really doesn't tell you too much. And yeah, maybe eventually you can just press all those buttons and it works out for you, but it's difficult to keep up with that. What I normally recommend at this point in time is to just learn what your different abilities do. I know that it seems like such a dumb moment, but if you just take time and learn how each of your abilities work, learn what button combinations cause them to happen, and just slowly incorporate them into different things, like you know what certain buttons do. I picked Awakening Ninja as my first class to learn. Dumb idea. It's not exactly easy to figure out, I promise. But I'm able to do combos. I'm able to actually grind. I'm able to do a lot of things that people said for a new player is almost impossible. I'm able to because I took time to learn what my abilities did and I learned what they look like. And now I can go and watch a combo video and I see what they're doing and I don't have to look at like the combination of buttons that they're pressing, because to me, seeing the skill is easier to read than actually reading their button combination presses. And it works out much better. Learn things like your modifiers, like your F modifier, your shift, your space, your flows, your forwards, your backs, LMB, RMB, like all these different things. Learn what those buttons do on your class before trying to learn a combo. Because if you can figure out how the animation is supposed to look, it's much easier to figure out how the combination is supposed to work out. Now, I do have one last thing, and this one isn't going to always be obvious at the time, because when you watch someone who knows what they're doing in Black Desert, a lot of things happen very quickly. Whether it be going through seasons, whether it be grinding, whether it be enhancing or anything along those lines, a lot of things happen fairly fast. It's when we get used to something, we just do it like it's second nature. So my last thing that I wish I knew, take your time. It does not matter how fast anyone else is going through this content. It doesn't matter how fast anyone else is doing anything, because at the end of the day, this entire game is built around progression. How far you have progressed. You're not gearing to do a piece of like an end game dungeon or a piece of end game content or fight an end game boss. It's a sandbox MMO. If you're not addicted to +1, you're probably not going to get super far in Black Desert. It's funny because to me, it's something that I talk about with my chat since we play other games, other MMOs. And in those games, we gear up to do a specific piece of content, and then we gear up to do it even better and, crush it even harder, right? But in Black Desert, you gear up either to PvP or to PvE more efficiently, like to grind more efficiently, to smash enemies more efficiently, to make more money, right? You're not gearing up to fight some crazy boss. You're not gearing up to fight some crazy dungeon with crazy mechanics. Not yet, at least. Seems like they're starting to add dungeons in. It needs some work. I will say that much. As someone who plays a lot of dungeons and a lot of other MMOs, BDO needs some work on their dungeons, but they're cool and they're interesting and they're starting to get there. So the best thing I can tell you is take your time. Enjoy it. Black Desert's a fun game, and it's also not going anywhere. I left this game for a long period of time and then came back again. And my time back has been a blast. Hopefully we have some more content in the future. I gotta learn a lot of crap, man. I'm not sure what kind of content we're gonna make, but there's a lot for me to learn. Most of it will be streamed. So if you guys are curious, we'll be starting streams at 5 p.m. I want to say every day. I really want to say every day, man, but it's as often as we possibly can. So just look around in the BDO community. 5 p.m. EST. You might see me. You might not. We'll have to see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this all to the end. Hopefully I didn't miss anything too crazy out there. Yeah, I'm just having a good time, man. I'm gonna go back and grind again. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the end. Take care, my friends. Peace out.